welcome to another episode of Mine Planning Matters, a podcast where we talk about where the industry gets it both right and wrong when it comes to mine planning and mining engineering. This podcast is not just for mine planners, it's for everyone who has anything to do with mine plans, from those who create them, to those who execute them, and all the way up to those who endorse or sign off on them. My name is Mark Bowater, Director and Founder of Australian mining consultancy Insignia Mining, and I speak from experience, having been involved in mine planning for over 30 years. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mine Planning Matters. Now in this episode, I want to talk about creating good mine plans. There's lots of elements that are important in creating good plans. We need good information, we need the right tools and so on, but one of the fundamentals that we really need is that we really need good people creating our mine plans. We need good mine planners. And certainly in the Australian mining industry, and I suspect some other countries around the world, but certainly in the Australian mining industry, I think that we have unfortunately gone down the path of not valuing a good mine planner. When I started in the industry back in the late 80s, it was pretty common at mine sites that I would come across a mining engineer who had been in the same role for 5 years or more, the dragline designer or the short-term planner or something, and they had maybe 10 years experience or something like that, and they'd been doing that job for a long time. And because they'd been doing that job at that mine site for a long time and had been on the tools for a long time, they were super proficient in the software that they used, and they knew the mine really well, and they had been through so many things before, so that when they came across something, it's like, yes, this happened, once before, know the solution for this. And they knew their mine intimately, and you could really see that in any planning meeting that they attended. They could spot issues very quickly, or when they were going through a plan and a supervisor said, "Why don't we do this instead of this?" They knew the answer. They knew the answer instantly in terms of why you shouldn't do that, and what were good ideas and what were bad ideas. And what I see in the Australian mining industry is that we have stopped valuing a good mine planner or a good mining engineer being on the tools and creating designs or plans, because really the only way to advance in the Australian mining industry from a career point of view, and certainly from a financial point of view in terms of the annual wage that you get paid, is to progress up the leadership ladder. So, you need to move on from being a dragline design engineer or a pit design engineer to being a senior engineer or a superintendent or a manager and so on. And when you progress down that leadership path, you naturally get pay rises, etc. If you choose to be a design engineer or a scheduling engineer, because that's what you like doing and you're good at it, then your wages sort of stay pretty stagnant. And so we have moved into this world where we are not valuing a good engineer on the tools. And our engineers are moving on within sort of 3 to 5 years, for example, just at the point that they're actually becoming good at their job, good at using the software, understand the mine, proficiently can generate designs or schedules. At that point, we then start to take them off the tools and we put them into a senior role or a superintendent role or something like that. And so therefore we lose all that and we rely on graduates, etc., coming through. And so we switch that role back to someone who's new in the role and they have to learn it all over again. And so it really is part of the problem of not producing high quality plans and designs is our turnover of people. And I think from a HR point of view, from an org structure at that higher level, I think that companies need to do something to recognize the value of hands-on people doing good work, and they should be compensated because they are actually generating good value from the mine. Thanks for listening to Mine Planning Matters and my thoughts on mine planning. This podcast is for the benefit of the mining industry, and that's you. So I'd love to hear from you through the comments section, and please feel free to let me know any topics you'd like discussed in future episodes. You'll find much more content at our Insignia Mining website, and if you find any of our content valuable, please let your mining colleagues know so they can benefit as well.